All right, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you has the power to change everything, your habits, your mindset, your entire life. And no, this isn't some fluffy, feel-good speech. This is real. This is science. This is the truth about why you feel stuck and exactly what you need to do to break free. Most people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right time. They wait for some big magical moment that never comes, and that's the problem. Waiting is the enemy. If you don't take control of your life, your mind will. And let me tell you, your mind isn't designed to help you grow. It's designed to keep you safe. But today, that changes. Right here, right now. You're about to learn the one simple secret that will shift your thinking, get you into action, and help you take back control of your future. No more waiting. No more excuses. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. That's the first thing you need to understand. It doesn't care if you chase your dreams, build a business, or change your life. It cares about one thing, keeping you comfortable and out of danger. And that's exactly why you feel resistance every time you try to step outside your comfort zone. That hesitation, that doubt, that tiny voice in your head telling you to wait, to think it through, to do it later, that's not logic. That's fear. And fear is lying to you. See, most people think their biggest problem is a lack of motivation. They say, I'll start when I feel ready, but guess what? You're never going to feel ready. Your brain will always find a reason to hesitate. That's why motivation is unreliable. It's why you start things and never finish them. It's why you set goals, get excited for a few days, and then go right back to your old habits. You don't have a motivation problem. You have an action problem. The truth is, change doesn't happen in big dramatic moments. It happens in tiny decisions, split-second choices, the moments when you feel that hesitation creep in and decide to move anyway. Because if you don't, your brain wins. And every time your brain wins, every time you choose comfort over action, you reinforce the habit of staying stuck. But the opposite is also true. Every time you push through, even in the smallest way, you build momentum, and momentum is everything. Let's talk about how this plays out in real life. Maybe you want to start working out. You think about it, you even get excited about it, but when the time comes, you hesitate. I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. One day off won't hurt. That's your brain running its script. And the moment you entertain that thought, you've already lost. Or maybe you want to start a business. You have ideas, you dream about it, you even research it. But when it's time to take the first step, you freeze. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I don't know enough? Again, fear is running the show. And fear, if you let it, will talk you out of everything you want in life. But here's the good news. Fear is predictable. And if it's predictable, it's beatable. The key is to act before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it. Because once you hesitate, you've already lost the battle. But if you move immediately without thinking, you take back control. This is where most people get it wrong. They think they need to feel ready before they act. But that's backward. You don't wait until you feel confident to take action. You take action to become confident. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's built one small act of courage at a time. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, they weren't born fearless. They didn't wake up one day overflowing with confidence. They felt the same fear, the same doubt, the same hesitation you do. The only difference? They moved anyway. They stopped waiting for the perfect moment, the right mood, or the magical burst of motivation. They understood that action creates motivation, not the other way around. And that's what you need to do. You need to stop overthinking and start moving. No more analyzing, no more second guessing, no more waiting until you feel like it, because if you let feelings dictate your actions, you'll stay exactly where you are. Here's something most people don't realize. You're never going to feel like doing the hard things. Never. Your brain is wired to resist anything that feels uncomfortable, uncertain, or new. And if you listen to that resistance, if you wait until it magically disappears, you'll be waiting forever. So how do you break the cycle? You act before your mind has a chance to stop you. You make a decision and you immediately move. No thinking, no debating, just move. Because the second you hesitate, you give your brain time to flood you with excuses. This isn't about big dramatic actions. It's about small, consistent ones. Waking up and getting out of bed immediately instead of hitting snooze. Speaking up in a meeting instead of staying silent. Making the call, sending the email, stepping into the gym, starting the thing you've been avoiding. Each tiny act of courage rewires your brain. It teaches you that fear isn't a stop sign. It teaches you that you are in control. The mistake most people make is thinking they need massive willpower to change their lives. They think success is about making one giant leap. It's not. It's about making small, uncomfortable decisions every single day. Because success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. And here's the crazy part. The more you push yourself, the easier it gets. The first time it's terrifying. The second time it's still hard. But after a while, you realize something powerful. You can do hard things. You can push past fear. You can take action even when you don't feel like it. That's when everything shifts. That's when you stop feeling stuck. That's when you realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to act. The people who succeed in life aren't the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to let hesitation win. They're the ones who take action before their brain has a chance to stop them. And that is a skill you can build. So starting today, you're done waiting. You're done overthinking. You're done letting fear call the shots. You know the secret now. You know that action, small, immediate, consistent action, is the key to everything you want. And the best part? You don't need anyone's permission to start. You don't need more motivation. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to move right now, today. Because the life you want, it's not going to wait for you. So why are you still waiting for it? The moment you realize that action is the key, everything changes. You stop searching for shortcuts. You stop waiting for permission. You stop looking for signs and start creating them. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is going to wake you up in the morning and force you to chase your dreams. That's your job. And if you don't take it seriously, nobody else will. Think about the times you've felt stuck. The times you've known exactly what you needed to do, but for some reason, you just couldn't make yourself do it. It wasn't because you weren't capable. It wasn't because you didn't have the potential. It was because you let hesitation win. That tiny moment of doubt, that split-second pause, it was enough to shut you down. And the more you let it happen, the stronger that hesitation becomes. It turns into a habit, a default setting that keeps you trapped in the same patterns, living the same life year after year. But just like hesitation can become a habit, so can action. The more you push yourself to move, the more natural it becomes. It stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling automatic. And that's the goal. Not to rely on motivation, not to rely on willpower, but to rewire your brain so that action becomes your default. Let's make this real. Think of one thing you've been putting off. Maybe it's a tough conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's sending that email, making that phone call, signing up for that class, going to that gym, or finally starting that project. You've thought about it, you've planned for it, but you haven't done it. And every day you don't do it, you reinforce the habit of hesitation. That stops now, because the only way to break the cycle is to disrupt it. Not later, not tomorrow, now. The mistake most people make is thinking they need to feel ready before they take action. But that's not how it works. Readiness is a lie. You will never feel ready to do the hard things. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. The only way to build confidence, to build momentum, to build the life you want is to act before you feel like it. It starts with small decisions. You wake up in the morning and instead of hitting snooze, you get up. That's an act of taking control. You're sitting in a meeting and instead of staying silent, you speak up. Another act of control. You're scrolling through your phone and instead of wasting another hour, you put it down and get to work. Each one of these moments matters because success isn't built in big, dramatic moments. It's built in the tiny choices you make every single day. And here's the thing, your future is being created right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Every decision you make today is shaping the person you're becoming. So if you keep hesitating, if you keep waiting, if you keep choosing comfort over action, you are actively building a future you don't want. Think about that for a second. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you are making a choice. Every time you let fear win, you are making a choice. And every choice either pushes you closer to the life you want or pulls you further away from it. You are in control, you always have been, but if you don't start acting like it, your life will never change. Most people never figure this out. They spend their whole lives waiting for the right time, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to come save them. But nobody is coming. Nobody is going to do the work for you. If you want change, it starts with you. It starts the moment you stop making excuses and start making moves. And let me tell you something. You don't need more time. You don't need better circumstances. You don't need luck. You have everything you need right now. You just need to start, because the only way to get what you want is to take action before you feel like it. Fear will never disappear. Doubt will always be there. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who stay stuck is simple. The ones who succeed take action in spite of it. They don't wait until they feel confident. They don't wait until they have the perfect plan. They start before they're ready, they take messy action, and they figure it out as they go. And guess what? That's exactly what you need to do right now, today, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you hesitate, the more power you give to fear. But the moment you decide to move, the moment you decide to take control, everything shifts. It won't be easy, your brain will resist, it will try to pull you back into old habits, old patterns, old excuses. That's normal. Expect it, but don't let it win. Because every time you push through, every time you choose action over hesitation, you get stronger. And before you know it, you're not just thinking about changing your life, you're actually doing it. And that's when everything starts to shift. You begin to realize that success isn't about talent, intelligence, or luck. It's about action. It's about training yourself to move before your brain convinces you to stop. The people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable, aren't different from you. They just refuse to let hesitation control them. They've built the habit of action, and that habit compounds over time. One decision leads to another, and before they know it, they're living the life they once only dreamed about. You have that same potential. You have the ability to change your life, but it starts with taking control of your decisions. And the truth is, the little decisions matter more than you think. The decision to get up when you want to hit snooze, the decision to speak up when you want to stay quiet, the decision to work when you want to procrastinate. Those decisions seem small, but they add up. They shape your confidence, your self-discipline, and ultimately your future. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack consistency. They start, stop, start again, and never build the momentum they need to break through. That's why hesitation is so dangerous. It kills momentum before it even begins. You hesitate once and it turns into a pattern. You second guess yourself, and before you know it, you're stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing is changing. But it's not because you're incapable, it's because you're waiting for something that will never come. Motivation isn't coming. The perfect moment isn't coming. No one is going to come rescue you. The only way forward is to act before you feel like it, to move even when you're uncertain, to push yourself even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. Because every time you do, you take back control. And when you take back control, you start to realize something powerful. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing. Willing to step up, willing to take a chance, willing to do the uncomfortable thing. You're going to have moments when you doubt yourself. That's normal. You're going to feel fear. That's expected. But fear doesn't mean stop. Doubt doesn't mean you're not capable. The difference between the people who win and the people who stay stuck is what they do in those moments. Do they give in to fear, or do they act in spite of it? Do they wait for confidence, or do they build confidence by taking action? Do they let hesitation define them, or do they push through it? Your life is a reflection of your choices. Every time you hesitate, you're choosing to stay where you are. Every time you take action, you're choosing to move forward. And when you start making those choices consciously, instead of letting fear make them for you, everything changes. Think about it. What would your life look like if starting today, you stopped hesitating? What if every time you felt doubt, you moved anyway? What if every time you felt fear, you used it as a signal to take action instead of a reason to stop? How different would your life be in a month, in a year? Because that's what this is about. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about creating it. It's not about hoping things change. It's about making them change. And here's the thing. It's not going to feel easy at first. Your brain will fight you. It will try to pull you back into old habits. That's normal. But you don't need to feel ready to take action. You just need to take action. And the more you do, the easier it gets. The hesitation gets quieter. The fear loses its power. The excuses start to fade. Because once you prove to yourself that you're capable of moving forward, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, you start to trust yourself. And self-trust is everything. When you trust yourself to take action, you stop waiting for motivation, you stop relying on external validation, you stop living in fear of failure because you know you can handle it. That's the shift. That's the moment you go from thinking about change to actually making it happen, because in the end, it's not about how much you know, how smart you are, or how perfect your plan is. It's about one thing: whether or not you move, whether or not you take that first step, that first action, that first uncomfortable decision that sets everything else in motion. And once you do, you start to realize something incredible. You realize that fear was never the problem. Hesitation was. You realize that confidence isn't something you need before you start. It's something you build because you start. You realize that success isn't about luck, talent, or timing. It's about one thing: your willingness to act before you feel like it. So right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can keep waiting, you can keep hesitating, you can keep making excuses, or you can decide that from this point forward, you move. No more waiting, no more second guessing, no more letting fear win, because the life you want isn't going to wait for you. It's waiting on you to take the first step. And that's the truth. You are the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be. It's not your circumstances, not your past, not your lack of time or resources. It's the hesitation, the overthinking, the waiting for the right moment that never comes. But now you know the secret. Now you understand that action comes first, that confidence is built through movement, that the only way to change your life is to stop waiting and start doing. So the question is, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to let this be just another moment of motivation that fades away? Or are you going to use it as a turning point? Because at the end of the day, no one can make that choice for you. You either let hesitation win, or you take control. You either keep living the same way, or you decide right here, right now, that you're done waiting. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic leap. It starts with one small action, one decision to move, to act, to push through. And once you do, you'll realize something powerful. Everything you want is on the other side of hesitation. The life you dream of isn't out of reach. It's just waiting for you to stop thinking about it and start making it happen. So don't wait, don't hesitate, don't let another day go by wishing things were. Make the decision, take the first step, and watch how quickly everything starts to change.